Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Sense and welcome to another video review today. Guys, it is beautiful outside, so don't be surprised if you see some videos coming your way in the next couple days that are a change of venue a little bit, change the background scenery a little bit for you. So look for that coming up in the next few days. But today I'm excited because I've got a 2021 release from the House of Hermes. Now this is the first new line that they've launched in 15 years. H24 is what this is called. So when we return, we're going to go over that fragrance, talk about why it's an important release, why it's something you might be interested in picking up yourself, that and more, so stay tuned. Terre d'Hermes, Voyage d'Hermes, Eau d'Orange Vert. There are so many different iconic fragrances that the House of Hermes has released that it's an exciting thing when they point their focus on a new brand or an iconic release such as H24 is a new 2021 release. It is an eau de toilette concentration. What I have right here is a 100 ml bottle, and we're going to check it out, take a look at why this is an important release for the House of Hermes, talk about kind of what it represents. Each fragrance release like this has its own kind of ideology behind it, reasons for release. We'll talk a little bit about that, but first, let's take a look at that presentation. So H24 is an interesting presentation. The bottle itself is kind of like a triangle that's been warped a little bit. I don't know if that symbolizes taking something that's familiar and making it new and creative and inventive, which would be kind of a cool nod to the presentation. Now, the top does have a cap of silver, and also on the shoulder there's a silver metal cap, but the rest of the bottle is just straight up glass. It's very thick at the very bottom, feels really good in your hand. It's gonna look really nice sitting on the shelf. So the presentation is really nice. Now let's talk a little bit about the juice. What about that note breakdown? Let's focus a little on what makes up H24 in terms of notes. The new 2021 fragrance H24 by Hermes features clary sage, narcissus absolute, rosewood, and sclerine. So an interesting note lineup. We've got clary sage, which is a modern man's note in fragrance. Another floral, which is a little bit more spicy actually. Another floral is narcissus absolute. We've got rosewood in there as well as a metallic synthetic note called sclerine or sclerin. That's what comprises this fragrance. Now this is considered an aromatic green fragrance for men. I really like the commercial on the Hermes website. I'm going to show you a little bit of that. I really like ideas behind fragrances that are more than just corporate BS. This one has some really nice synergies, but as this guy's walking through these buildings, these shapes and designs seem to change and merge. The tangent at which they all meet is the guy. He's bisecting or walking through all these different ideas and he's bringing them together. The modern man with social media and streaming, but also bring his own ideas and his own creativity into the creation of something like this. Now, what is sclerine? Sclerine is kind of a somewhat of an innovative synthetic molecule that brings a warm and sensual metallic note. We know a metallic note can be cool and masculine for a summer fragrance such as in Azzaro's Chrome, but warm and sensual, you don't really think of metal being warm. Hermes is known to have some sewing workshops, and in those workshops they often use irons, like hot irons, that touch the damp fabric, so that creates a kind of a smell. It's kind of an industrial smell, but also has some interesting aspects to that synthesis, that synthetic molecule, and that's what it's mimicking. When the hot iron meets that damp cloth, what results? is that synthetic molecule. Let's hope they've been able to capture that in this fragrance. So enough talking about the fragrance, let's go ahead and try it out. I like that shape. Atomizer sprays a ton of juice out. I'm actually getting that not off the tester strip, and I really like it in the air. It's very green. Man, that is a really, really unique. This is one of those fragrances that you actually have to sit and mull over. You have to actually think about, not as to whether you like it or not. Immediately, I like it, but it's a complex scent. Now I get that sclarine in the background, and it does add, it's almost like if you were to take the note of vanilla and take the sweetness away from it and kind of cut its half-life in half. That's kind of what it smells like to me here, that dampness. So there's a warmth there. There's a warmth, and it's almost like a cooking warmth, but it's not gourmand at all. It is a very sensual, almost like a sun-kissed skin sensuality to it. Definitely got a clary sage background. That is the backbone of this fragrance, is clary sage. If you're not a fan of clary sage, you probably won't like this, but if you're a fan of very lightly vegetal, green, spicy fragrances that have a warm, sensual overtones to them, there was a fragrance that I talked about not that long ago from Lolita Lempicka, Green Lover. This reminds me a little bit of Green Lover, only it takes it to new heights in terms of quality, in terms of masculinity. Green Lover was a gourmand fragrance, more of a gourmand fragrance. This is not at all gourmand. There's a clean soapiness, not as much at all as Lacoste, Match Point. Match Point's kind of an in-your-face green clean. This is not quite that. It's more of like a hint of that. Like I say, this is carrying multiple elements that I really, really like. The Narcissus too is adding like a nice kind of semi-raw green to this as well. So there's lots of green elements in H24. As you can see, the bottle reflects that. The color of the juice reflects that very well, I think. So what I'm settling on, basically, is a really nice mix of vegetal and metallic. So when you combine those two, and they don't sound at all like they would go well together, but Christine is brilliant, and I think has really found a fantastic fragrance formula for this. This is a new legacy fragrance for Hermes. So now I'm gonna try it on skin. I've showered, I don't have anything on, so actually, you know what? I'm just gonna wear this today. Talking about it. This fragrance isn't an overpowering fragrance. I can go ahead and give you that right off the top. This is going to be a nice office scent. It is a safe scent. You're not going to super challenge anyone's senses with this, but you're definitely going to intrigue. That's what I like about this. This is going to be one of those compliment pullers that does more in terms of intrigue and interest than it does just blow people away and be, wow, what do you got on? They're gonna be like, what is that? What am I smelling? It's gonna make them ask you questions instead of ask you where you got it, and maybe it'll lead into that, and it will lead into compliments. Do I think H24 is gonna be a compliment puller? Yes, I do, if you're around the right people. Is it a mainstream fragrance? I don't know that this is as mainstream as something like Dior Sauvage has turned out to be mainstream. I think it has the potentiality to be that. Time will tell, but it is a really nice, warm, lightly metallic green signature scent. It's got a nice light energy and vitality, and I'm telling you, when it's on your skin, it's almost like a 2D scent being filled up with air, and now it's a 3D scent. The only conclusions that I can make in a first impression isn't necessarily going to have to do with performance. The scent bubble I'm experiencing now after spraying it on is a little bit cloying. It's a little bit heavy. So this is some powerful juice. So probably don't spray 6 sprays on that I just did there, but that's just my norm. It's projecting really well, so I'm going to say that it's going to project really good for the first couple of hours. Longevity-wise, as an eau de toilette, and projection-wise, I would say it's going to be right around average. Anywhere between 6 to 8 hours is probably what you're going to get out of this. This is definitely going to be one of those fragrances that's going to turn heads. I think it's going to be a compliment puller from the simple fact that it's very unique. H24 is a very niche-like designer fragrance. It's probably going to be the closest to niche that you'll get. I really enjoy how the notes melt and blend together in this fragrance. It's so easy to tell that clary sage is definitely the backbone. It's such a unique fragrance, and I really, really like it. Because it's a unique fragrance and an intellectual fragrance, you can definitely wear this upscale. You can dress this up. You can definitely wear this casually too. Anything that's green vegetal can also be a little bit lightly casual. It's a sophisticated fragrance, but it also can be enjoyed in a t-shirt and jeans because it's such a classy look. So you want casual, classy looks, not baggy shorts, you know, and a wife beater, not that kind of casual. Classy casual, and then upscale is where this is best utilized in terms of fashion. It doesn't bookmark itself to a specific season, so it's going to be a signature scent. You can definitely wear it year round, but again, I feel like it's going to be best utilized in the warmer climate and warmer weather. Well guys, that's it for my take on this 2021 release from Hermes H24. My unboxing and first impression is extremely impressed with this release. It makes you do a fragrance double take mentally, and I love that fact. As time goes on and when I feature it again, you'll probably see it grow lower and lower as I wear it because I just really like it. Looking forward to putting it through the paces. Thanks so much for stopping by and checking out today's first impression. As always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.